Hi, I'm Colin from the East Kilbride Arts Centre, and I'm here again to talk to you today about drama. This is episode 2 of 6. Last time we were here, I told you a wee bit about drama, what it was all about, what these classes were all about, and things that we were going to cover. And when we left each other, I had just got you to warm up your bodies, and we were going to move on today to concentrating on our vocals and our minds. Okay, so that's what today's session is going to be all about. So why do we do that? Because as I mentioned last time, it gets your body prepared for the class. When you come into a drama class with myself or another tutor, it's usually the first thing we'll do for the session is get all the participants warmed up, ready to go. It focuses you and gets you prepared for the class. Makes you shut off from the world outside. Anything that's going on outside before you come into drama is forgotten about. When you're in your drama class, that's what your focus is on, okay? So that's why we like to get you warmed up. So, it also helps when people that you don't know perhaps are in your class. It gives you the opportunity to get to know people better and work together, because when you're doing drama in a class environment, you could be doing in groups, you could be working in pairs, or you could be working on your own. So we need to cater for all these different options. I know it's difficult doing these classes because it's usually just myself and you on the other end of the screen. Feel free as you go along to show the videos to other people. If you've got family around you, watch it together and you can try the activities together, okay? But if not, I'll be going through things that focus on me and you working together, okay? So, what we're going to move on to next is concentrating on your vocal warm-up, okay? So, what are we wanting to get from this? We're wanting our voices warmed up, we're wanting our faces warmed up, okay? So, why do we want our voices warmed up? Because obviously in drama a lot of time you're going to be speaking. Now we do what's called mime, where there's no noise or no speaking, but for the main part you will be using your vocal cords within a drama class. You might not be singing as such, but you will be speaking. So you need to be prepared to project your voice and speak clearly. So that's why it's good to warm up in this way. So, what first? First of all, I want you to, now, as we go through this warm up, the best way to do it is to either find a mirror or a device where you can flip the screen around so that you can view yourself and prop it up. Or as I say, a mirror from your room, bathroom, sit it there so you can see your face. Now, why do you want to do that? It's really simple. It's so that you can see what you're doing, see what your face is doing at the time, so that you can learn from that, okay? You want to see what muscles you're using, how your face reacts to what you're saying, and that will all help with your acting. Acting is not just what you say, it's how you say it. So we talked about that when we were using our bodies last episode. We also use our faces to display emotions and convey a story, okay? So, you've got your mirror or your device in front of you, straight in front of you. First thing I want you to do is a big yawn. Big yawn, okay? Why are we yawning? Because when we yawn, we open our jaw. We're loosening up our jaw, okay? Now, what else do we want to do for our jaw and our lines? We want to take a big toffee out of our pockets, okay? Here's our toffee, delicious. Unwrap it, put it in your mouth, and eat it, okay? So, you're chewing your toffee. Now these stick to your teeth, so you want to move it around a lot. Really get the old choppers going, okay? Okay, we're done with that. So by that, we've moved our jaw about, not just up and down, side to side. We're getting it loose, okay? Now, just make sure there's no tension in the muscles around your mouth, okay? Now, the next one is really a bit of a yucky one, but I want you to imagine you've got a big lemon in your hand, okay? And you're going to take a big, massive bite out of it, okay? So, big bite. Really squish your face up. You know what it's like when you get anything lemony? If you take it out your drink and you eat it, you get that whole So, really make your face, screw your face up. This is why you need a mirror. See what it looks like? You look silly. Don't be scared of looking silly, okay? I do it all the time. Right, so screw your face up without even trying, that is. Right, okay, so we've got our lemon, we've got our toffee. Now, what I want you to do to warm up the vocal cords, so we're going to Take deep breaths in, hold it, and out. Okay, so what we're doing by this is we're opening up our diaphragm and our airways, because if we're speaking a lot, we need the flow of air. Stops us getting breathless, okay, when we're speaking. So another one, big breath in, and out. Okay, now do that another couple of times, and then what we're going to do is move on. So what I want you to imagine is you've just been to McDonald's, okay? Now, I love going to McDonald's when you get a milkshake, okay? But if you've ever tried to drink a milkshake right away, other than getting brain freeze, it's also the hardest thing to try and drink in the world, okay? You can't get the milkshake through the straw. So, that's what I want you to do right now, is I want you to imagine that you're trying to have a drink of your McDonald's milkshake. Other brands are available, okay? I'm just using that for effect. So, imagine you're sucking through your straw. You can't get anything up, so you're having to push your lips and try and get it through. So, breathe in as you're doing it. Still nothing, okay? So, that's the activity. Now, the next thing I want you to do is I want you to imagine you're a bee. Okay? You're a bee. So, what do bees do? Bees buzz, okay? So, we just start a low buzz. Just like that. You feel it funny, you feel it tingling in your mouth, okay? That's us again, just working on your vocal cords. So we're buzzing. And what I want you to gradually do is I want you to change that to a hum, okay? So you're buzzing to a hum. And I want you to make your hum louder and then quieter. And then I want you to try and change the pitch of it as well as you can. To a higher note or a lower note. So your hum, higher and lower, okay? So, or a, okay? So practice your humming. Next thing to warm our voices up. So we've hummed, we've buzzed, we've done lots of other things, is now we're a siren, okay? So think of a police siren or an ambulance siren, or maybe a fire alarm in your school or something like that. It says glaringly loud siren, okay? So we can be really, really loud with this one, okay? And we're just going to be a siren, okay? So it's a now make sure you know your mouth's moving, so we're moving our mouth. That again is warming up our lips and our jawline, but it's also warming up our vocal cords, okay? So let's try again. There we go. And if you feel silly doing this at home, don't feel silly. I feel silly doing it in an art centre full of people. Okay, so I do it all the time for a living, so don't be shy, don't be afraid, just go with it. What's the next one? Oh yes, there's a good wee song that we can do, I like to do with warm-ups, and it's a really, really sad story about my papa who has a head like a ping pong ball, okay? Now, it's a really, really sad story, but it's quite a nice wee song. Okay, so I'll tell you the words and I want you to sing it through at home, and then what we're going to do is we're going to make it a bit more difficult. So, the words are really simple. It's to the tune of William Tell, I believe. So it's Papa's got a head like a ping pong ball. Papa's got a head like a ping pong ball. Papa's got a head like a ping pong ball, like a ping pong ball. Papa's got a head like a ping pong ball. Papa's got a head like a ping pong ball. Ping, 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 ping. Pong, 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 pong. Okay, so why did we sing that wee song and that wee rhyme? Easy. The words ping and the words pong. Now, if you look at yourself in the mirror when you do this, when you see the word ping, you push your lips together and it makes a ping. And if you say pong, it drops your jaw down and your mouth makes a different kind of O shape. Okay, so that's why we say that so often in the song, because we're changing the shape of our mouths and our lips accordingly, and then again that helps us warm up. So what I want you to do is I want you to sing the song through once as normal, and then what I want you to do is I want you to take one of the words out. Okay, so the second time we go through it, take the word ping out. Okay, so you're not going to say the word ping, you're just going to leave a silence. So it's going to go something like, Papa's got a head like a pong ball. Papa's got a head like a pong ball. Okay, so you're going to go all the way through again, taking out the word ping. Right? Then the next time, I want you to take out the word pong, and anytime you go to say pong, I want you to make a silly face. Okay? So, what would my silly face be? My silly face would be, other than my normal face, would be something like that. Okay? So, I would start again and I would say, Papa's got a head like a ball. Papa's got a head like a ball. Okay? So you take out the word ping and you make a silly face in the word pong. So go through it all the way through the rhyme again. If you want to do it a third time and change it again, that's absolutely up to you. Remember, all this is doing is warming up your face, your mouth, and your vocal cords. Right? So, that is us. Another good thing that we can do is tongue twisters. Okay? Now, these are quite difficult, so I will tell you them slowly. What you can do at home, if you want to find out more tongue twisters, stick them into your search engine on your phone or a computer, or you can find a book online or in the library or something like that will have tongue twisters in it. Find them. What they do is they get your old brain thinking and they get your mouth moving. Okay, so the very, very simple ones, I've got a couple here. Feel free to copy them, right? I'll read them out. If you want to write them down, note them down. Pause the video, go back, watch them again until you've got them. And what we're going to do is, I'm just going to do them slowly, but what you need to do is you need to start slowly and then you're going to repeat them over and over and over again, getting faster every time you go. Okay, so the first one. Whether the weather be fine or whether the weather be not. Whether the weather is cold or whether the weather is hot. We'll weather the weather, whatever the weather, whether we like it or not. A lot of W's in there, okay? That's the whole point of the tongue twister. Words that are similar sounding and a similar shape, okay? So it's supposed to try and catch you out, so you need to concentrate to make sure you get all the right words in the right order. So that one was, whether the weather be fine or whether the weather be not. Whether the weather is cold or whether the weather is hot. We'll weather the weather, whatever the weather, whether we like it or not. Okay? So say it at that speed, try it as fast as you can, and see how wrong it goes. If it goes wrong, who cares? Try again. Right, will I give it a go fast? This could be a disaster. Okay. Whether the weather be fine or whether the weather be not. Whether the weather be cold or whether the weather be hot. We'll weather the weather, whatever the weather, whether we like it or not. I bet you can do it faster than that. I'm old. The brain doesn't work as quickly. You can do it faster than that. Practice makes perfect. Okay, another one. Susan shineth shoes and I can't even say the first line. Susan shineth shoes and socks. Socks and shoes shine Susan. She ceased shining shoes and socks, for shoes and socks shock Susan. Now that's even more difficult. It's only 4 lines and it's much more difficult, okay? Lots of S's. Susan shineth shoes and socks. Socks and shoes shines Susan. She ceased shining shoes and socks, for shoes and socks shock Susan. Right? I'm not even going to try that. Quickly. Alright, okay, I will. Susan shineth shoes and socks. Susan socks shine Susan. She ceased shining socks and shoes. I sound like the late great Sean Connery. Do you notice that? She ceased shining shoes and socks, for shoes and socks shock Susan. Yes, I think we all sound a bit James Bond when we do that one, okay? So there's 2 really, really good tongue twisters. Each week moving on from this, I'll give you another one to try as part of our warm-up, okay? So, what we're going to do is we're going to move on to our next part of this lesson. So, we've warmed up our voices. What we need to do now is talk about how we use our voice in drama, okay? The first thing that we use in drama is to control volume, okay? So sometimes we are required to speak loudly, we have to project to the whole room, to the whole audience. Sometimes we have to speak a bit quieter, so we have to speak a bit quieter. Although in a studio or in a theatre, if you speak really quietly, people can't hear you, okay? So you do what's called a stage whisper. So you whisper, but it's still loud, okay? So that's so that people can hear you. There's nothing worse, and I'm sure you've done it yourself when you go to see somebody in a play or a show or a concert, and you're sitting there and you can't hear what they're telling you, or they can't hear what you're saying. Sometimes you might be sitting in class and the teacher's talking and she's speaking really quietly and you don't know what she's saying, okay? So it's important in drama to control your voice and know what level is appropriate. Is it a quiet time in a scene that you're doing or your performance? Or can you be a wee bit more louder? It also links into your emotions. If you were angry, you'd shout! Okay? Whereas, if you were a bit upset, you might be a bit quieter and a bit more reflective. Okay? So, that all comes down to practice, okay? Now, the other thing that we use is what's called pitch. So, it not only links to volume, but it links to tone, okay? And that's what I was trying to reflect there. Your pitch changes when your emotion changes. So if you become happier, your pitch changes because you're so happy. Whereas if you're a bit sadder, your pitch goes down because you're really sad and you're a bit depressed. So your pitch goes down, your pace goes down. Again, if you're angry, your pitch goes up. You might be so angry that you just can't think. So your pitch goes up. Okay, and the last one that I mentioned there was pace. Okay, so that's when we're using our voices. If we have to say lines or if we're having to give a speech or something like that, it's the pace that we say it at. Okay, so you might say something quick. If you're in a hurry to say it, you might think you can say your line really quickly, or if you're wanting to take your time with it, you might say it slower so that people understand easier. Okay, if you're trying to get your point across, usually you would say it slower. If you're in a hurry, or if you're excited, or if it's something really important, you might say it really fast because you need people to listen and you need to know what they're saying and you need to get it really quickly, okay? So pace. So they're the three things that you need to remember once we've got our voice up, why we use it in drama. So we use it with our volume, we use it with pitch, and we use it with our pace. So volume, up and down, pitch, up and down, pace, slow or quick. Okay? So, we use it to convey emotion in our dialogues, and we also use it to deal with the audience. Now, as I was saying, you need to project to the audience so that they can hear what you're saying. I talked about stage whispers there as well, so it's being quiet, but not being too quiet. So the audience can still hear you, but they know that you're whispering, okay? So it's not just making sure that it's audible, but it's making sure that it's clear as well, okay? So you need to think about your diction, okay? Now, we get a really bad rap in the west of Scotland for speaking really quickly and people don't know what we're saying. So it's about making sure when we're talking that we make sure we're not going too quickly and that we speak clearly. Now, when we were all kids, our parents used to shout at us to enunciate and say our words properly. When I was at school, I loved to do computing, whereas my mum would always tell me it's computing. So that's what we need to think about when we're saying lines on the stage as well. We need to make sure that our diction is really clear so that people understand the words that we say. There are some words that sound very similar, so if you don't say them the same, if you don't say them differently, sorry, it can get really confused, okay? So, what we want to do now is we're going to think about expressions. So what we're wanting to do, this is a wee exercise you can do at home. Now I want you to get your mirror again and you're going to say these in front of the mirror, because what I want you to look at and what I want you to think about as you say them is the way your face changes, okay? It's really simple. So I'm going to give you one line, okay? And the phrase that I'm going to give you is, are you serious? Okay? Now, are you serious? So, but what I want you to do now is I want you to say the same line, but I want you to say it with different emotions attached to it, okay? So, the first one I'm going to give you is inquisitive, okay? So, are you serious? So, the way you say that, obviously your pitch goes up because you're asking it as a question, okay? You're not sure, so are you serious? Then think about, look at it, say it, think about, I can't see my face at the moment, but I'm aware of my eyebrows go up, my brow goes up when I say it that way. and I feel this whole bit tensions and lifts up. So as my tone goes up, my face goes up, okay? Now the second one I want you to try is in an angry style. So same line, are you serious? But in an angry way. Are you serious? So, there you go. Do it in the mirror. Now you feel when you say something angrily, your brow goes the opposite way this time. It comes down, you feel your eyes slowly start to dip down, and the bottom of your face goes up the way, okay? You're scrunching your face up when you're saying it angry. So there we go, so we said the same line 2 different ways, okay? Now, third way I want you to try it is with a worried expression to it, okay? So think about how you would say that, are you serious, if you were worried, okay? Then the last way I want you to try it is in a confused way, okay? So say it in a really confused manner, are you serious? Okay, so I want you to say the same line 4 different ways. First way is a quizzical way, an angry way, a worried way, and then a confused way, okay? So carry that out, repeat as necessary. Watch your face as you're doing it, see how your face changes. And what you can then do after that is, why don't you then change the word, okay? Or you can add different emotions in there. Change the phrase from are you serious to I don't know, okay? That's your next one. So think about how you would say I don't know in a curious or angry way, or confused way, or a quizzical way. Or what you could do is try are you serious in a happy way. Change the emotion or change the phrase and practice, okay? Now you might feel silly doing it in front of the mirror, okay? But that's what will help. Learn what your face is to do, because when you're in a class surrounded by people, we don't all have mirrors in front of us. So it's good to know when you're saying lines, what your body or your face are doing at the same time, okay? And it'll do it quite naturally. Once you change it, if you're saying these lines and your face is staying exactly the same, then you're perhaps not getting the emotion conveyed right. If every time I say it, so here's me doing are you serious in a curious way? Are you serious? Here's me doing it in an angry way. Are you serious? Here's me doing it in a sad way. Are you serious? So, completely the same. If that's what you think is happening when you're trying it, try and over-exaggerate it then. Try and think of a character, how they would do it in a way, and try and emphasise it. If you know what way your face should be going, make sure it goes, and practice. So do it over and over and over again until you think you're getting it the right way, that you're saying it the right way, and that your facial expressions are going the same way as well. Alright, and then when it comes to doing it in drama or in pieces, it'll come totally naturally to you, okay? So, that was us for today. What have we learned? We've moved on from talking about the first week where we were what is drama, why are we here, what we're doing it for. We've warmed up our bodies, we've warmed up our minds, we've warmed up our vocal cords, okay? So go back and practice all these things. Pause the video at any time, rewind it, do it at home on your own, any time in between. Just keep practicing these things and it will come naturally. Don't be afraid to try different things, change things, and do whatever makes you feel comfortable, okay? I will see you again soon. Stay safe and look after each other, okay? Thank you very much. Bye bye.